time. As the flights pass in review, applause is appropriate, but please limit that applause so that others may hear the narration of the names and hometowns of the military training instructors. Please reserve the strictest respect during our oath of enlistment. During this oath, airmen pledge their lives to support and defend the Constitution and our country. For the safety and comfort of those around you, we ask that you remain in place until our distinguished guests have left the reviewing stand and departed the area. Restroom facilities are located in buildings on either side of the parking lot, and during this morning's ceremony, smoking and the consumption of alcoholic beverages is not permitted. Please be cautious when ascending and descending bleachers. Please use handrails where available, and watch for tripping, slipping, and falling hazards. Finally, please do not go out onto grassy areas when taking photos during the ceremony. The flights before you today are named after Air Force pioneers who have made significant contributions to our enlisted heritage. They have special meaning to all airmen, especially those who are transitioning from civilians to warrior airmen of character. Today's graduates make up these heritage flights and will continue to shape our Air Force. And now I'd like to take a moment to inform you on specific flight locations on the parade field, as viewed from the bleachers from your left to your right. The first two heritage flights to pass in review today are from the 324th Training Squadron, Duprat-Waldo and Harlow flight. Next are Kissling, Peterson, and Finch flight from the 331st Training Squadron. In the center of the parade field is the 737th Training Group's Drum and Bugle Corps, Murray flight, from the 321st Training Squadron. The flight selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags is from the 324th Training Squadron, McKinley flight, followed by Smith flight from the 331st Training Squadron. The last four flights to pass in review today are from the 323rd Training Squadron, Blue, Roy, Cody, and Matthew's flight. At this time, please find a place to sit. Thank you, and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the entrance of our official party. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Antigua.
Please join me in prayer. Let us begin our invocation with the name of the Creator, the entirely gracious, the especially merciful. Lord Almighty, we come before you today to celebrate the significance of a transformation of these brave men and women who now stand before us as American airmen. Lord, whether we are of faith or not of faith, whether we identify as a Jew or as a Muslim, Christian or pagan, Buddhist or Hindu, Gnostic or humanist, here we stand united before you as one people with one purpose. We are Americans. Americans who have chosen to look beyond our differences. Americans who have chosen to knock down walls of ignorance that divide us. Americans who have chosen to build bridges of mutual respect and understanding. Americans who have chosen to focus on the colors of Old Glory rather than the colors of our skin. And as these men and women parade, led by the military training instructors who are unmatched in their craft, Lord, we ask that the hearts of the families and friends, especially our beloved veterans, be filled with joy and swelled with pride, knowing that the torch of freedom and democracy is in good and capable hands. And may the words from their lips be, well done, Airman, well done. This we pray in your glorious and exalted name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Antigua. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Parade. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony. The Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Joint Base, San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Jason Carruthers. Representing the Superintendent, Air Force Basic Military Training, Joint Base, San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Chief Master Sergeant Sandy Rios. Today's Today's reviewing officer is the Commandant of Cadets, United States Air Force Academy, Colorado, Brigadier General Kristen Goodwin. From the 37th Training Wing, the Commander, 37th Training Wing, Joint Base, San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Colonel Roy Collins. Also in attendance with us today, Major General Timothy Rush, United States Air Force retired, accompanied by his wife, Penny. The Command Surgeon, Air Education and Training Command, Joint Base, San Antonio, Randolph, Texas, Colonel Thomas Harrell. The Senior Enlisted Advisor to the United States Air Force Academy Commandant of Cadets, Chief Master Sergeant Daniel Boucher. We would also like to introduce a distinguished group in attendance with us today. Would the members of the Air Education and Training Command, Squadron Commanders and Spouses, Force 17 Delta, please stand to be recognized. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 37th Training Wing is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. The airmen who will pass in review today have completed a demanding 7.5-week program that provides Air Force units throughout the world with trained airmen. Part of this training includes the time-proven concepts of military customs and traditions, of which this parade is a vital part. All graduating airmen will also march over the enlisted heroes' walk. They will lead the way for the thousands of airmen that will follow, all reflecting on our enlisted heritage, tradition of honor, and our legacy of valor. Our Commander of Airmen is Cadet Stuart Holmes, United States Air Force Academy. General Goodwin will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated.
Get the parade is formed! Take your turn! Your squadron, order! Order! Come!
stand for the playing of ruffles and flourishes.
March the command and review.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Staff, keep post, punch! Your squadron, order up! Head, head, head down!
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating airmen passing in review today represent a portion of the 40,000 recruits who will complete basic military training this year. The 737 training group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the enlisted corps of the greatest air force in the world. The military training instructors are responsible for the evaluation, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Air Force. The flights you will view today are a representation of the enlisted force. Each flight represents an enlisted member of the Air Force who has embodied our core values and contributed to its heritage. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb line to pass a review, they will march over the enlisted Heroes Walk. The airmen recognized on the papers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish action as members of the United States Air Force in armed conflict, including present-day operations in Afghanistan. They include 7 Medals of Honor, 28 Air Force Crosses, 190 Silver Stars, awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all airmen to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. Armed with a knowledge of our past, the airmen will exit the Heroes Walk by marching over a blue line, signifying their accession into the greatest air power in the world. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by the 737 Training Group's Drum and Bugle Corps, Murray Flight, from the 321st Training Squadron, performing today under the direction of Master Sergeant Sherry Gwynn, hometown, Chattanooga, Tennessee. These airmen are also in basic military training, but have been hand-selected to perform for ceremonies of this type. We would like for you to notice our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. Once the flags have passed in review, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. Now passing in review, our Commander of Airmen is Cadet Stuart Holmes, United States Air Force Academy, hometown, Haymarket, Virginia. From the 321st 31st Training Squadron, the Drum and Bugle Corps, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Number 14, Murray Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Rudy Sato, hometown Washington, D.C., and Technical Sergeant Jonathan Torres, hometown Fayetteville, North Carolina. The B Squadron Commander is Cadet Krista Young, United States Air Force Academy, hometown Reno, Nevada. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing a Medal of Honor recipient, Smith Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Wade Clayton, hometown Bemidji, Minnesota. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing an Air Force Combat Action Medal recipient, Blue Flight, led by Master Sergeant Danielle Lanier, hometown Fort Wayne, Indiana. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Number 16, Ward Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Ashley Smith, hometown Cocoa Beach, Florida. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Number 17, Cody Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Joshua Kinsey, hometown Meadville, Texas. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing a Medal of Honor recipient, Matthews Flight, led by Technical Sergeant James Taylor, hometown Hill, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, now approaching the reviewing stand is a representation of the Air Education and Training Command's Summer Leadership Program. These men and women are being led by Cadet Stephen Haupt, United States Air Force Academy, hometown Wardensville, West Virginia. To the men and women of the 737 Training Group, on behalf of the United States Air Force Academy, we extend our thanks to you. We salute you and thank you for your mentorship, leadership, dedication, and continued partnership with the United States Air Force Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the United States Air Force song. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Over the last 7.5 weeks, the Airmen before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warrior airmen with a foundation to serve in the world's greatest Air Force. Once these airmen leave basic military training, they will enter Airman Week, where they will develop their critical thinking skills and further personalize the Air Force core values. They will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform one of over 130 Air Force specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of over 84 Air Force bases around the world or work directly with our sister services. As these airmen move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the Air Force. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment while maintaining home station readiness. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the U.S. military, and an even smaller percentage in the United States Air Force. You should be proud of their accomplishments thus far. The airmen before you have reached a milestone in their Air Force journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. These airmen are the future of our Air Force and will pave the way for future generations of airmen as we continue to fly, fight, and win. exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence these airmen displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the airmen march forward to the oath of enlistment, we would like to thank the families and friends who are here in support of the airmen graduating today. Your words of encouragement help motivate the airmen for 7.5 weeks of basic military training. On behalf of the United States Air Force and Air Force Basic Military Training, we extend our thanks to the many families and friends of American airmen for the support of your airmen and the greatest air power the world has ever known.
U.S. hands out!
Ready? Post.
General Goodwin will now come forward and address our graduated airmen.
Well, good morning to everybody here today. What an incredible day. And I want to just say thank you to all of you airmen for giving me the great opportunity to share this moment with you. This is something you should be very proud of, and I feel humbled and honored to stand before each and every one of you, warrior airmen that are the future of our Air Force. So first I want to take a moment to say thank you to everybody in the stands today. That's the moms and dads, the husbands and wives, the brothers and sisters, the aunts and uncles and grandparents. Each and every one of you have provided the love, the support, and the encouragement of all these airmen that are here today. You've helped them in their journey, and you've helped them come to this moment, which is a very proud moment, not only for them, not only for you, but also to our United States Air Force. And we could be more thankful for all the things that you do. Because all airmen here in the stands and that serve today know that we can't do what we do without the love and support of our families. It's you sacrifice right alongside us every single day, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I also want to take a moment, and I think it's always important to thank our veterans. It's because of you, our veterans, your sacrifice, your bravery, every single day we are able to live free and to wake up and to do the things that we enjoy. Because we all know that freedom's not free. And it's because what you have done, the legacy you have laid, and the path that you have set for us, that we are able to live the life we live in this great nation. And I want to say right before you, veterans, are your legacies. These airmen will be our future. It is because of all the things and all the hard work that you have laid for us. So I want to say thank you to our veterans. Now this day would be possible if we didn't have military training instructors, if we didn't have first sergeants, if we didn't have cadre, and I'm proud to say, if we didn't have the United States Air Force Academy cadets. Because every single day they showed up. And all that they wanted to do is they wanted to make sure that they gave their best so that today we would have airmen that are ready. They selflessly dedicated 24/7 for the last 7 weeks to ensure that they made these airmen better than them, that they gave them all the tools to succeed from day one. And we can't be here today without all your hard work, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Job well done. Now to the airmen. You just spent 7 weeks, rigorous training. And just in a moment, we're going to bask in the legacy of the veterans that preceded you, and you're going to take that oath of office with me. You're going to join a long heritage of the likes of Fitzenbaugher, Reisner, Doolittle, and the Tuskegee Airmen. You're going to be part of a group of heroes like Chief Master Sergeant Dwayne Hackney, whose name is on the training building right across the street. And Chief Hackney, he joined the Air Force because he didn't want to mow grass. He didn't want to have to do that back home like his mom and dad told him to. So he went to the recruiting station, decided to join this Air Force. And he became a pararescueman because that line happened to be the shortest at the recruiting station. And thank goodness for us that he did, because he was an airman, he was a citizen of great character, of high caliber. And he went on to be one of the highest decorated airmen in our United States Air Force. A lot has to do because he had over 200 combat missions. And every day that he went and executed those missions in Vietnam, he wasn't necessarily the strongest, PJ, he maybe wasn't even the biggest, but I'll tell you what, he was the proudest. And he wanted to make sure that he did his job every single day to the best of his ability, and he did. There was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into his legacy, but that is now, ladies and gentlemen, part of your legacy. So I have to ask you, what is your legacy going to be as airmen in our United States Air Force? Is it going to be like Airman Jesse Manley, who's an innovative airman that I had the great honor of meeting when I was the wing commander at Barksdale? See, Jesse Manley stood right where you were standing, and he came to Barksdale, and he ended up changing and revolutionizing the Air Force accounting system, changing a program that took 3 days to only 20 minutes. And he did that by just a small computer script. But what's more remarkable about Airman Manley is he did that within the first 2 weeks of being on our base. 2 weeks. So if you don't think that you can make a difference, think about that you can from day one. He was an innovative airman, and he is an amazing airman. Or maybe you want to be a Chief Master Sergeant in our United States Air Force, like Airman Tyler Delbert. Tyler's father is a Chief Master Sergeant, served 20 or 30 years in the 621st Joint Base at McGuire. And Chief, I want to say thank you for being an inspiration. Thank you for serving. And thank you for all that you've done in our United States Air Force. And Tyler, I want to say good luck to you, because your journey starts today. Or maybe you are an airman like Samuel Bautista, who has had 3 generations of military. And today marks the first time that your family has an airman. Your mom and dad were both in the Navy, one in the Dominican Republic, and your mom in Panama. And your grandfathers both served in the Army and also the Navy. So I want to say congratulations to you. We are so proud of you, and we welcome you into our Air Force. Each and every one of you airmen has a story. 633 of you will graduate and take the oath today, and we could not be prouder. And you bring with you your diversity, your diversity of thought. You bring your motivation. You bring your heart, determination, and your willingness to serve this great nation. And all of us here today in uniform, all of us in the stands, we support you, we salute you, and we could not be prouder of each and every one of you. So welcome to the Long Blue Line. And I have one question for you. Are you ready to join the world's greatest Air Force?
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. General Goodwin will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Airmen, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I bear true faith and allegiance to the same. and the orders of the officers that are appointed over me, according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, Airman. Welcome to the World Trade Center.
Thank you, General Whitman. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as our newest airman recites the Airman's Creed and remain in place for the departure of our official party. I am an American airman.